Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Health for Harwich, Wednesday, April 17th, 2024, in the Town Hall, Dunby Griffin Room. As required by law, the town may audio or video record this meeting. Any person intending to either audio or video record this open session is required to inform the chair. Since there's nobody, call to the meeting to order. Yeah, he's actually on there, so that's not really, all right, public comment, and we don't have anybody online, right?
No, there's nobody online. It doesn't.
All right. The minutes. Did everybody take a look at the minutes? So I think February was 20. You want to make the motions too?
Make a motion to accept the minutes for February 2024 and March 21st, 2024.
Okay.
I second that
Except
motion.
February 21st and March 21st, 2024.
Second that motion.
Aye.
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 All right. Those are out of the way. Okay. There's no old business and the new business. You're up. The new business is going to be on pesticides, with a discussion by Patrick Otten.
Thank you very much, everybody.
You can sit if you'd like to.
Does that microphone work as well?
Yep.
Okay. That makes it a little easier instead of
Yes.
struggling. Okay. You know all about me, I think. I know all about you. Sky. Sky. Is he going to bother you? Okay. So I'm here tonight to request that the Board of Health consider asking the town of Harwich not to spray pesticides on town property. And you're going to ask why. So let me give you my version of why.
Okay.
All right? Yeah, pesticides, side meaning to kill, are a tremendous risk, health risk for everything. Pesticides, synthetic, chemical, or natural, have a broad impact on all life: human, children, pets, squirrels, rabbits, plants, insects, microbial, beyond their stated purpose. Once used outside, they have an unlimited range beyond our yards, with a damaging impact on the environment. In 2014, the Cape Cod Commission released a report saying that 1.3 million pounds of pesticides are used yearly on Cape Cod. That was 10 years ago. I don't have an update figure on that. So, when pesticides are sprayed, they lay on the ground, of course, and they affect everything on the ground, including birds. Birds that consume the sprayed insects or grazing on the vegetation that was just sprayed. So example, northern flickers, they love to eat the ants. American robins are eating worms, blue jays, crows, geese, all being poisoned by the pesticides. So we're sterilizing our outdoors with a false sense of security, believing that we're remedying problems with ticks or mosquitoes, right? I was outside of your office and I picked up these two handouts, one on preventing mosquito bites, and they start by stating, use personal repellents, wear proper clothing, check yourself. So you're familiar with these handouts. Nowhere on any of these handouts is it recommending that you contract someone to spray pesticides on your yard. It's all about personal care, and it's what we've been doing for hundreds of years before the chemical industry entered our environment and began advocating for-profit spraying for pesticides. So I believe in checking yourself for problems with any insects that we are trying to remedy by spraying. I also spoke with the Monomoy School. What do you suppose they put on all of their yards, all of their property? Two things: sunshine and water. So even our schools do not spray with pesticides. All right. So my concern is, and I'm going to repeat, I'm requesting that the Board of Health consider asking the town of Harwich not to spray pesticides on town property. It's jeopardizing my health, your health, the health of all of Harwich residents. To see these signs outside the back door of this property, I've picked up these signs at the community center in the perimeter of the building, and it very clearly says, caution. And it shows an adult with a child and a pet. So I really firmly believe we need to believe these signs and take heed and not spray pesticides. So that's my request here tonight, okay?
All right. Do we want to start with some comments?
I don't have any additional comments right now. Certainly, it's worth looking into further. I know, obviously, it's not something I think that we can regulate on personal property. I understand you're just asking on town land. Certainly would need a lot more, research on our end, but certainly something that we'd be willing to discuss.
Good, yeah.
I would do what he said, that I think we're all aware of the hazards of it, and further discussion with the people who are using the pesticides probably should take place.
Yeah.
What are they, who's spraying right now?
Who's spraying for the town?
Yes.
I don't know.
Who's spraying for the electric companies and the,
They have their own contractors spraying the glyphosates. Yeah. Down the power lines you're referring
Yes.
to, right?
And we can find out what the municipal buildings use and how much they use and how often. I believe recently out here this fall, it was an herbicide that was being sprayed to control some of the heavy-rooted plants that are in the beds out there. And they just put, I think, those signs up. My understanding is it was an herbicide
Okay.
for the plants, not a pesticide.
Yeah.
But we can definitely get confirmation on what's being used where. I think the golf course might spray, and
We
town
had a
buildings if
discussion,
there's
do you
a
remember
need.
the discussion with the golf course? They said they used the minimal.
That's
I thought-
fertilizer, though.
Yeah, that was
I
based
thought it
on
was
fertilizer.
fertilizer.
but we
I thought it
can't-
was
Oh, okay.
fertilizer.
I couldn't,
I could be wrong, but I thought it was fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they try to be as environmentally friendly as possible, but we can
Yeah.
get that information and get it in the hands and have further discussion if the board wishes.
how would you define pesticide?
Pesticide is a generic term for four other categorical sides. So insecticide, herbicides, fungicides,
Something that kills.
and we haven't added human side in there yet. But yeah, side means to kill, so, right? Nature long ago figured out how to manage insects, right? That's why you have birds eating the caterpillar larvae, et cetera, but.
Okay.
And we do have some educational series coming up regarding soil nutrients and integrated pest management practices that are alternatives for our residents. May 1st, good time to plug it, May 1st and May 2nd at the Cultural Center from 5 to 6. Russ Norton, one of the master gardeners from the Cape Cod Cooperative, is going to come and talk to the residents.
What's that day?
May 1st and May
May 1st.
2nd, yep.
I mean,
It's
it is a-
Wednesday, Thursday.
It is a much larger discussion. I mean, I know you're talking about how Mother Nature figured out how to control it long ago. Well, we as man have moved into areas
exactly.
that were drastically uncontrolled. I mean, I used to frame and work construction, and I remember going out to Morris Island
Whoa,
and,
yeah.
and going to a house and getting out to do work. I had the wrong house. It had not yet been sprayed for mosquitoes, and I am one of those people that is very allergic. And I mean, I've never in my life been swarmed and attacked like that. In some places that we as people have expanded to in order to continue living there, it is absolutely necessary. I wouldn't have blamed anybody not wanting to step foot outside on that particular property without some form of control. So, I mean, it is a very large discussion.
It is.
Yeah.
I spoke with the Cape Cod Mosquito Control. They say you need to go to the source, and the source is water, okay? They, you know, your bird feeder needs to be dumped weekly, right? Any
Standing water.
standing water has to be removed. So they don't recommend spraying as first approach for mosquitoes. So, yeah, I'm very pleased that we're having a discussion.
All right, so I'm going to give you my take on this.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I think we do need to be very careful of our water, all right? And I think that is important, and we do test. We test for the pesticides. We also test for the glyphosate, all right? The last one that was done was January of '24. There was none detected, all right? I think that is on the, it's probably on the water website, water department. I think it's very prudent that people learn to use them properly. I'm not in favor of a total ban.
Nor am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want a total ban.
Yeah.
I think in the pharmaceutical, we always looked at risk versus benefit, or pros versus cons. If it's used properly, my feeling is it's definitely a benefit, all right? When you look at Lyme disease and you look at the ticks are active anytime the temperature's above 40 degrees. When you look at the climate around here now, you look at this past winter, we didn't have a lot of cold weather, all right?
Found deer ticks on my dogs all
Yes,
winter long.
yes,
Never
and they
stops.
may not be the Lyme tick, all right, the Borrelia. I used to have to identify them, all right? And the ones that are most important are the nymphs and the females. That nymph isn't even as big as a grain of pepper. You could easily have that on you and not see it. The disease itself manifests as like a cold. The few people that get the bullseye, I don't know how many you've ever seen, only ever saw one come through.
Not too many true bullseye rashes.
No. I think it's less than 20 to 30% will ever get that. A lot of it goes misdiagnosed, and when it does, the consequences are severe and lifelong debilitation. So to me, when I look at spraying for ticks, all right, I find that the pros definitely outweigh the cons on that. Again, but I don't think just anybody should be out there doing it. And I believe the pesticides, I think they have to be certified, don't they? I don't think
Yes.
For
it's,
commercial
yeah.
applications.
So hopefully, you would assume if they're being certified, they know how to apply it. They don't want you on the yard or greens right after they spray it, and that's why they put that down. Once it's dried, it isn't all that dangerous. Are you concerned about it getting into the water? I agree, we need to watch that. What I'm getting at is all the testing we've done, or here in Harwich, and a lot of it on Cape Cod, you are not seeing that getting into the water. Do we want to wait till we see it and it's a problem? No. But the fact that they are looking at this periodically, all right, and the test results that I have were from 2019. They're waiting for the results now from this last set of testing. I think they do it every 5 years. All right. They're not, some of them are non-detectable, and some of the other few are really a breakdown of other chemicals coming from something else. to me, I can't see banning it even on town property. I think it needs to be done correctly. I think maybe where the town and other towns may fall short is not really getting proper application out to the people that want to do it themselves. All right? And I think that's where the problem lies. And I know Carrie is working on getting more, I don't know, you wouldn't call them
Education,
workshops, but,
public outreach. And
Yeah.
if you have anybody that would be a good presenter, we would love to.
yeah,
post that for
I
you.
I do think, because I've seen some people, what I think overuse. And I think those are the kind of people that hopefully we could maybe get into some of these, and even if we, bring it up at meetings, all right? I think it needs to be done, but I think it needs to be done properly. So I would not be in favor of banning, and I know that the article you have is for home rule, and I didn't come from a state that had that. So from what I'm gathering, that even if they would okay that, right now, we can't, based on the way we signed our CWMP. All right, we couldn't do that. That's why we can only have a policy. We couldn't have regulations. All right? Even with the home rule, if we were allowed to do that, it still comes down to the board. All right? I personally, and I'm just going to speak right now personally, because we're not voting on anything, I would not be in favor of banning it. I think we need more education. And I think anything we can do to do that is a plus. That's kind of where, like I said, I've been going through all the testing, and it's just, the information isn't there that is saying that it's causing a problem. I don't want it to be a problem. I'm not one to close the door after the horse is out, that, so yeah, let's not get it to that. And that's why the testing, I think, is so important.
We're
And-
lucky to have Dan.
Pardon?
We're very lucky to have Dan Pelletier.
Yes, well, we won't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That upsets me, because he's very easy to work with, very knowledgeable, very receptive, because I had said something to him, we were talking about the PFAS, and he said, yeah, and he gave me the information where that was tested, and he said, we can do more. And I know that we have gotten some regulations where they wanted us to maybe have private wells tested. All right? And we've talked a little bit about that. We haven't, really got into that. But again, I don't think that's things that you can mandate. But the town water's being tested. And he did tell me, and I don't remember the town, that somebody actually comes and buys our water because it is so clean. I don't know what area around here comes and buys it, but he did tell me, he just told me that today. And I don't remember it, but I thought, wow, all right. So I understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to let it get to be a problem. I've got kids, grandkids, I know that they tell you, keep them off the grass, even your pets, right after they spray.
Right.
But, and as far as using it on the clothing, it's a lot of work if you've ever done it. If you've got a family with two kids and you've got to dip that, buying it is expensive, and it only lasts for so many washings. You could use DEET. A lot of people don't like that. Wouldn't be in favor of that, but the Prometheum works well. But it's a lot of work. I guess I would take the easy way out and say spray the yard. But, yeah, and you keep the kids off it for the next 24 to 48 hours.
See, I hang my laundry outside,
Okay.
so when my socks are hanging there and they're dry, I just go, and they're done, because they're.
I don't hang mine outside anymore. So, but, like I said, I think it is bringing it to the people's attention, even if it doesn't go through for a total ban. I think you're bringing it to light, that it's something we need to look at and we need to manage. And I think as a town, we can do that and still have the benefit of it. And like I said, there's always cons, and I had said at the Board of Selectmen meeting, I said, I don't think there's anything today that you don't have a risk benefit. And like I said, you can take aspirin it's great for pain and fevers. You take too much, affects your platelets, gives you ulcers. There isn't anything that I think that is, you can look and say, oh, it's 100% and doesn't cause any kind of side effects. All your drugs have side effects. So many of the other things that we do, people still smoke, all right?
Driving cars.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, there's risk benefits and everything. I guess that's the way I see this. So I'm glad you're bringing it. I think what you're doing, it brings it to light. And I think that opens up the discussion to say, hey, let's do the education. Let's get the people in and tell them how to use it properly. And
Or alternative methods.
there are some alternative methods that do work.
Right.
And so I really, I do believe that. Not all of them. They may not work as well. They may not have as many side effects. But again, you've got your risk benefit. And I
Right.
guess for me is kind of the way I see this. I look at even the West Nile virus. We didn't always have that here. The warmer it gets, the more we're going to see it. So yeah, I do think we need that pest control.
As a piece, not as the whole
Yeah, as part of it,
production.
yeah. Like I said, educating people,
Tool belt.
like my husband has these big
Absolutely.
barrels out back with lids that has water in it. And I keep
Right.
going out there, get rid of that water, get rid of that water. So it's that education that people have to be aware of.
Right.
That's where the mosquitoes breed. So, yeah.
And you're familiar with Larry Deplis?
Pardon?
Larry Depis,
Depis,
D-E-P-S-E-S. He just retired from the Barnstable County. He has many educational videos on pesticide application and use. I'll send you the link.
I wonder,
I think it's still on the county site.
Yeah, it is, because
Yep.
I just looked at it, yeah.
see, that's the kind of, like, even information like that, and I wasn't aware they had it, but having something like that with a link to it, that maybe then either from water, it could be in more than one place,
Yeah.
and the Board of Health, that people can click on that link and, and say, hey, if you want to know how to use this, and it's going to give you that information, let's try to get the people educated that they can get on there, take a look at it, and, like I've had to educate my husband on some of that stuff.
Pretty sure that if you go on the health department's website under tick-borne disease, there's a link to Larry's
Oh,
page.
off of Harwich, yeah, good.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
So we're aware of Larry's
See, and then,
work.
and that's maybe some of the stuff that we as the board, maybe need to get that information out more. We know it's there, but I didn't know it was there. How many people know it's there? So it's great to have it, but if people don't know that it's there and don't use it, it defeats the purpose of having it. So I think awareness, to me, is
And we have
where it's at.
the county epidemiologist, and I think he's from Martha's Vineyard, the insect biologist coming to our wellness fair,
Oh,
and they're going to talk about tick-borne disease and prevention.
when's the I haven't seen that flyer.
April 27th.
April
Give it to
20.
him.
May I have a copy?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
All right,
So,
good.
like I said, I think the more of that,
Let's put the tour to track.
Yep.
I think the
Same
more of
day,
that
same
we can
location.
do, I think the education is, to me, is where it's at.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And for my citizens petition on reducing pesticide application, it is a home rule petition. So what's written in that petition can change. It's simply the kickoff point to try to get Harwich able to decide what to do with pesticides. So the verbiage that I have can change. There's no reason why it can't be altered.
Yeah, I guess it's the home rule, that would now allow us, if we wanted to make regulations.
Right.
All right. And even if we decided to call them regulations, right now, what we have on the website, I know for the fertilizer, is going to be based, it's right off of, who's doing the fertilizer?
Orleans.
It's not the EPA, it's the,
DEP?
yes, I think it's the DEP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's doing that. And again, there's your fertilizer. Don't put it down when it's supposed to rain.
Right.
All right? Don't put it out on hard surfaces where it's going to get into the water. Again, we come back to the education. And I think, for me, I think that we need to put more emphasis on the education, that people use it, because it does have its benefits. Now, fertilizer, you like your grass green, but, there you're looking at the nitrates and the phosphorus. So, and I think that is, again, very little of it is coming from fertilizer. Most of it's coming from the septic systems. Yeah,
80% is septic.
Yeah.
15 from fertilizer.
yeah. But again, I have seen people where that you can see it's laying out on their hard surfaces.
Yeah.
And it rains, and it's going to go right into the storm. So,
Right.
and then it's going out into the ocean, and it's going to have an effect. So I guess that's my take on pesticides and fertilizers and insecticides. So I think we have to use them prudently. And to me, that's where the answer really is, that even if they would grant that home rule, it would still be, at least from.
You haven't solved the problem, but.
No. But we can manage it.
Yeah,
I think we can manage it, is what I'd like to see happen.
yeah. Good,
So-
good.
All right.
I'm appreciating everyone here and the willingness to have a discussion.
Yeah.
We're not arguing or calling each other names, you
No,
know. it's-
doesn't get anybody
No,
anywhere.
it doesn't. So this is,
No.
and if I can help you in any way with resources, I know APCC just had a very informative webinar with the Cape Cod mosquito control. Very informative. Why don't I forward that link to you? Maybe you
Yep,
could
that would be
post
great.
that.
We can post
because
that on our
it
website
was,
as well.
Yeah. You know, I'll ask Kristen Andres if it's fine to give it to you. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But
And
We're
then
happy to educate in any way that we can.
it was
and-
very
think
informative.
Those are the things that when, like at one of the weekly meetings of the board, that you can get up and say, we now have this link on the website for mosquito control.
Right.
If you would like to, watch that and, if that's one of your concerns.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I think that we need to get out there, just putting it on the website and not,
Yeah.
that
lays
nobody knows
dormant.
it's there.
Yeah,
No,
right.
we need to make the people aware of it. And I think there's enough people that are interested in
Oh,
it,
yeah.
that they will look at it.
Right.
They will look at it. So, yeah, to me, that's my take. I'll be quiet. So anybody else, any comments?
Said it all.
Sorry about that.
No, again, I want to just give you my thanks and appreciation that I'm here and
Yeah.
you're there. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's
And
good.
we can work together, and I think
Yes,
maybe
please.
we can improve it. We're not going to solve it, but we can
Yeah,
make it
let's
better.
improve it, right.
We can make it better.
That's why we live here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
All right,
yes,
good. Thank you.
yes, thank you. And then you can give her that information on
I
that.
will. I'll email it to you. So
And-
you emailed me earlier, so I'll respond.
And as you do come across things, on any of those, whether it's pesticides, fertilizer, whatever, pass it on to Carrie, and
Okay,
we'll make use of it, get it out there.
good. All right.
Yeah, all
thanks.
right. All right, thank you.
Did you have something to add?
No, you did a great job.
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Diane LeDuc. I'm here to support. Get some pats in from Sky.
All right,
All right.
all right, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right, do we have, we have to vote on something, all right.
Test holes.
Test, yes, just because it was, yeah, I can't
There's a
find it.
typo on what was submitted for your original approval
Yeah,
almost a year ago. Just realized it today.
so we just have to vote on that, we have to correct that. All right, any questions on it? Nope.
So the fee's always been 110 per test hole, and it was a typo at 100, so we're just asking for the permission
To
to
correct
adjust the
correct it.
fee schedule.
was supposed to be 100, and it was down 110,
It's supposed to be 110.
and we had it at 100.
Yep.
Okay, so it's.
You want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to correct the fee for the test holes from 100 to 110.
Second that motion?
Okay. Vote?
Aye?
Aye.
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 All right. We have permits here.
Permits for
This one, yeah.
Mary Beth Rodman and Cape Cod Wine Biscuits LLC event. What,
So these are just all, we're just renewing the,
These are all new
new ones?
permits,
Oh, the
so
new
I think
permits.
they're all event.
All events? Yeah, okay.
okay, events, all right.
We
Mobile
have a
food truck.
septic hauler, a mobile food truck, an
Yeah.
event permit, and a utility installer.
Tim Delude, Shore Things Site Work, doesn't Tim Delude have the trash hauler business in Orleans? Isn't that the,
It might be the same.
yeah,
Site Works.
okay. And utility installer James Ruberti Construction, Centerville. Now, why are these different, why are these different towns? I mean, why is it Centerville?
Because he operates out of Centerville, but he's
Okay.
looking to
But he does-
perform work in Harwich.
I see, okay. And the mobile food truck from West Dennis, but he wants a permit for Howard?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Want to make a motion?
Make a motion to accept the events,
Permits as printed?
the permits for the events.
Second?
Okay. Vote?
Aye?
Aye.
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 All right. There's nothing else. We have, oh, I would like to make one comment. Can I make that now?
Sure.
I heard back from Dan, remember when we were here for that meeting? Oh, you weren't, you didn't make it to that. When we,
No, I wasn't.
yeah,
I couldn't go.
where they were looking for the variances with the plumbing board. And he got back to me that, yes, they accepted it, so we do not need to put bathrooms
Bathrooms in the pump
at the
houses.
pump stations.
That's good.
So,
Too small, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, I missed a good one.
Yeah. So that, yeah, so they did accept that, and, yeah, they did, he think he went up there beginning of April, or something like that. When was it?
Yeah, it was like days after our meeting.
Yeah, like that next week, so it was successful. So that was all I have. Motion to adjourn?
Nope, you'll be report of the health director.
Oh,
Trying to brush me
oh,
off, Sharon.
yes, yes, sorry about that.
So in your packet is
Yes.
also, aside from the director's report, is the release for water clarity from DEP. So they've terminated the order, the water ban. So I know it's been posted and it's official, but just so you have a copy of the order termination. We have the public needs assessment. We have finalized our contract with Crescendo to perform the regional needs assessment for the Lower Cape towns, plus the town of Dennis. They will begin by conducting secondary data research, then move into focus groups and stakeholder groups. A community-wide survey will be conducted, and the information will be compiled into a comprehensive report. That should be available to us by the end of July. We have our wellness fair, which I've included a flyer for everybody. We've teamed up with the Conservation Department and the Cultural Center Director to host a large community health and environmental event. It will begin with the tour to trash at 10, where volunteers will pick up their supplies and go out into the community and collect trash. The date for this is April 27th. The wellness fair will follow. It will start at 11 a.m. and go to 3 p.m. We have a large list of attendees, including but not limited to Barnstable County Nurses, AIDS Support Group, Outer Cape Health, White Chalk Conservatory, and more. Kara, the Cultural Center Director, was able to add some great activities for families, such as laser tag and face painting. And we will be joined by the Bay State Jumpers, who will put on a jump rope demonstration. We have free goodies to give out, so we're gonna be giving out pepper planter boxes. They're little eggshell boxes, and you can plant your peppers in those. We have jump ropes for the kids, so free jump ropes that they can work with the Bay State jumpers and maybe learn a thing or two from them. There's gonna be a couple of food trucks just to keep, where it's lunch hour, we wanna keep people happy and
Fed.
occupied and with lots to do. So we think it's gonna be a huge event. We're looking forward to it. There's gonna be a bicycle helmet giveaway. And then there's also gonna be car seat fittings, so the police department will be there, and they'll be doing 0 to, I think, 16 years for the car seat fittings. So we'll have a lot.
15 years?
Yep. For people who might have apparatuses that they need to be harnessed in if they
Oh,
have disabilities.
Disabilities, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to,
I was gonna
not
say.
every average teenager needs a car seat at
They
that
should
age.
be, though.
Cape Cod Tech Culinary Event, we have teamed up with the town of Eastham and will be hosting a senior luncheon at the Cape Cod Tech on April 23rd. The culinary students will prepare 2 to 3 meals that are well-balanced, low sodium for the attendees, and the nursing program will be offering blood pressure readings. We do have limited space on this, but we currently have plenty of openings, so if you know somebody that's interested, just go on the website and register.
Okay.
So that's the
Sounds good.
director's update.
Does anybody else have anything?
Other?
Nothing?
Something else? No?
Make a motion
Yep.
to adjourn?
Second?
Second, vote,
Aye.
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 Motion
Motion
accepted,
Motion accepted.
adjourn.
Very good.